also to people who are running for the Conservative leadership, and they all say the same thing, which is that the individual MPs and MLAs or MPPs are afraid to be, pinpointed as individuals who are bigoted or phobic, to use that horrible terminology, and so they won't vote the way that they would be inclined to if they weren't afraid of being hounded and targeted. And I think that's reprehensible as well, because if you're going to be an elected official, one of your duties is to take the heat for your beliefs. If you can't do it, well, especially if you're conservative and you can't do it, then you might as well just fold up your tent and go home. Because if you've decided that everything you think is now sufficient to target you as reprehensible or deplorable, then what you stand for is already done with. You're done. And I see that happening very often with conservative people. And they have a legitimate point of view. It's not the only point of view, obviously, but it's a legitimate point of view. But if your elected officials can't even act out the doctrines that they claim to adhere to, then the whole thing is over. So it's like parents. If you don't agree, then don't act out things you don't agree with. It's as simple as that. It's a form of deceit. It's a lie. It's a sacrifice of your soul. You think, well, I don't want to be hassled about it. It's like, okay, well, back off and abandon your beliefs and see how far you get. See where you end up if you do that. You see, one of the things people don't understand is that often in life you have a choice between two terrible alternatives. There isn't a good route. Lots of times it's risk A or risk B. That's all you've got. You don't have happy, moving forward easily route. That isn't there. And so you can either pay the price for standing up for what you believe in, or you can pay the price for not standing up for what you believe in. And I think that the second price is much higher. The problem is it takes longer to kick in. So, if you stand up and voice your opposition or act out your opposition, which I would say sometimes is even more effective, then you have to take heat right away. And people are very conflict avoidant, unbelievably conflict avoidant. And so they're willing to forestall the trouble into the future. But it's going to be, the more people back off, the more trouble they're storing up for the future. It's as simple as that. So decide, do you want a fair bit of trouble now or even more trouble later? That's it. That's your choice. For the MPPs, for the parents who don't agree with these sorts of things, what does it mean if you don't agree? If you don't stop going along with it? You agree if you go along with it. You can flail about all you want and say that you don't agree. If you act it out, then you agree. It's as simple as that. And it's not, especially because we're kowtowing to a very small and radical minority of people who have disproportionate power at all sorts of levels of institutions and government. And if you're cowardly and you back off, well, then you get exactly what you deserve. So that's why democracy works to some degree. You get punished for your own stupidity.